By now, you've probably heard and watched many reviews on this game. Yes, it's as good as people say. What's up nerds, Jesse here. Today I'll be going in depth into why Batman Arkham Shadow is so good, why I think it's the top contender for Game of the Year, and touch lightly on some of the problems that'll hopefully be fixed in future updates. Heavy spoilers in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, click off now. It's been a week since Batman Arkham Shadow released, and I've already played through it and I'm on my second run. The story is filled with twists and turns that keep you second guessing. The best part of Arkham Shadow is the gameplay. Everything just works. The combat is complex, but not too complicated that it takes weeks to learn. The stealth is challengingly fun, and puzzles are enjoyable and really make you feel like the world's greatest detective. The first thing I noticed when I spawned in as Matches Malone at the start of the game was the graphics and how beautiful the world around me was. Finally, a VR game where I felt like I was in someone else's shoes. Going up to a wall and running my fingers across, reacting to the bumps and divots as if I were in the real world. There is just nothing quite like this game and its clarity. Even on the MetaQuest 3S, I was blown away. I hadn't even become Batman yet and I thought the game was flawless. Hearing Roger Craig Smith's voice as Batman and followed by Martin Jarvis as Alfred, I opened my eyes. Bam! I'm the freaking Bat! I can finally say that I am Batman! Just looking down and seeing the bat symbol, looking at my arms and seeing bat blades, and walking up to the first ladder and pulling myself up. What a way to start a game, and it only gets better from here. I pull a lever, the door opens, and I see a rat running for his life, saying, "Batman's here, close the door!" And then I run up to the door only to find it's locked. I open up the map just like I've done time and time again in other installments, and man, did they make an interesting pause screen. Everything is so detailed and crisp. I made my way around to this wall. The ladder was ripped in half and I had a prompt telling me to press A. I held my arm up, pressed A, the grapple gun appeared, and I zipped up to the next floor. I made my way around solving puzzles along the way and I arrived at my first combat encounter. There was a tutorial on how to fight and I was blown away with how intuitive the combat is. It just makes sense. I punch right, then I'm prompted to perform a left hook. It's got a bit of a rhythm to the combat. Left, right, left, right. I could talk all day about the combat, but I don't want to bore you. After I beat up the rats, I then save some police and continue forward. I make my way to a gap and I need to use my cape to glide across. So I use the trigger and grab at my side, spread my arms apart and glide across the gap just like I would in any other Arkham game. I come across my first stealth encounter. I exit the grate and grapple to a gargoyle. I pull the trigger on the side of my head and activate detective vision. I'm scouting the room and coming up with a plan on how to take out the rats. I hang from the gargoyle, grab the rat from below and pull him up before dropping him down to dangle in fear. I grapple to the next vantage point and do the same to another rat. Finally, I drop down behind the last one and extend my arms out, grabbing the rat, pulling him in and choking him out. This is literally Arkham but in VR. It's perfect. Even though the game is almost perfect, it still has its problems. The biggest issue I faced when playing through the game were a couple of bugs and crashes here and there. The worst bug I faced was at the Scarecrow boss. I had just reached the level and thought it was a good time to finish up and have some dinner. So I turned off the headset, had dinner and went to bed. But the following day, I opened the game and loaded the last checkpoint. I was met with a room with no doors. At first, I thought it was part of the game, so I tried turning my detective vision on, but there was a jammer detected, so I walked around for a bit thinking the door would appear like what happened after the Barbara flashback in Batman Arkham Knight, but still nothing. I exited back to the main menu and opened up a save that was set a couple minutes before. Luckily, that fixed it, otherwise I would have had to play through the entire thing again just to get up to this point, which would have taken at least 4 hours. Another problem was constant crashings in the final level. I won't go too deep into this problem as it has already been fixed. But at the end of the game, there is this level where you take out 8 guards and then complete a puzzle in under 10 minutes. What would happen is you'd take out 2 of the guards, throw a smoke bomb, but the game would crash. Luckily, there was a 4 gig update the other day, and I played through the level again and couldn't find any issues. With all that being said, I still had an amazing time and was invested in the story throughout the entire game from start to finish. Overall, Batman Arkham Shadow is a top contender for Game of the Year, and I hope this video helps you to consider picking up the game. This is a bit of a different video to what I usually do, so if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of Batman Arkham Shadow in the comments. That's all for today. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night.